And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Turn on the tube, what do I see? A whole lot of people crying, don't leave it. Point the crooked little fingers at everybody else. Spend all the time feeling sorry for themselves. Victim of this, victim of that. Your mama's too thin and your daddy's too fat. Get over it.
Yeah, get over it, get over it, get over it. Just get on it. Get on it, baby. Let me show you. I just want to show you a little bit. It's in Arabic. Yeah, but those of you that are on YouTube, yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about, and I'll explain it here in just a little bit. Listen to this.
حرام عليك. أنا نزلت وكتبت إن أنا بنت وهنزل ميدان التحرير وهقف لوحدي وهرفع يافطة يمكن الناس تحس وكتبت رقمي. Now what this is a young girl. She was the one that it went viral on Facebook. And what happened, she posted this saying, look, you know, there's tens of hired thugs and officers came to terrorize us when we went down to protest. They shoved us and put us right, you know, and to the ground and stuff. And as soon as, you know, we went down there, they're hassling us and everything. And where were you to protect this young little girl? Where have you been? Where the youth, the young girls and young boys that out there started this thing on the internet and inspired other people to go. And they were saying, all the national media was saying that anybody that would protest, well, of course, they're psychopaths, and God forbid you immolate yourself, you set yourself on fire because you're more afraid of the secret police than you were of death. I mean, she's really made it ring the truth in the minds of the people there and got them out in the streets. This is, you know, I'm really happy to see how this has progressed, because it's how it always progresses. It's how it always happens, always. And what we're going to do is just a, you know, like 30, 40 CDs, little packages sent to just the right people at just the right time to make sure that they have the tools to be able to express themselves, to give them a little, you know, eliminate some of the roadblocks, some of the hurdles, to give an opportunity for them to even be exposed to a libertarian philosophy that people, there's an entire party, entire philosophy, the third largest party in the United States understands exactly what the problem is and how to articulate it, to help them have a voice, and that they have contacts here that understand. And one of those people they're going to be dealing with is going to be Mark Hinkle, National Director of the Libertarian Party of these United States. Mark, man, I need the people to understand that you can articulate what is wrong with our foreign policy. What are we doing that's so bad and so damaging to individual liberty?
Well, it's damaging not only to our liberty because, of course, our tax dollars are being taken from us by force and being spent to prop up mostly dictators around the world. As you know, most of the governments that exist around the world are dictatorships, and so when we give them money, typically it goes to the government, and frequently they use it to buy armaments from the number one arms dealer in the world, which is, as you well know, is
the United States government.
That's right. So isn't that just another form of corporate welfare with death as the byproduct?
You know, it makes you wonder. You know, they always talk about they're going to, we need to have this empire so we can get access to cheap resources. And I'm thinking when you add in all of the waste and the war and the bombs and the military and the VA benefits and the damaged lives and limbs and all that, and you go, how does it make it cheap? Wouldn't it be cheaper I just bought it?
Exactly. In fact, particularly in our involvement in the Middle East, the vast majority of the oil in the Middle East actually goes to Europe. It doesn't come to the United States. So if we're there to protect the oil, you know, hey, maybe Europe ought to chip in to do some of that protecting, but not the United States.
Well, do you really see it as this just being a United States government thing, or are we just a tool of something else? I mean, what's really at play here?
Well, I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but I think there are interests, global interests, that want to maintain control rather than give the individuals control back over their lives. You know, I look at the history of our foreign policy, and it's an unmitigated disaster. The foreign policy of the British Empire, I think, again, if you go harken back to the cost versus the rewards, it clearly cost them a lot more than they got back in any kind of rewards. And, at least with the United States, we're typically not going into foreign places and plundering them like some of the old empires, but at least the plunder, reimbursed some of the costs. And again, I'm not advocating plunder by any stretch of the imagination. I think that's absolutely wrong. But we're going in there, we're spending our time, our money, our lives of our, valiant soldiers to protect dictatorships.
Oh, we thought we got off easy by, instead of sending an invading army, we just do the economic hitman thing, and it's your brains or your signature on the piece of paper, and if they don't do it, then we just assassinate them. CIA goes in. If that doesn't work, here comes a military invasion. I mean, it's the same thing. We just thought we got more efficient at it. And the bottom line is individual liberty is gone. We're entangling alliances. We have all of this, value taken from us here in the United States. It's all the money from poor people in rich countries to rich people in poor countries, and you wonder why we got these problems. And it's all coming unraveled around a basic philosophy of individual rights are ignored. And we just had Jordan Page said he talked to a young friend of his that's Egyptian. He said, you have no human rights in Egypt. It's not there. And when you got 50% of the people living on $4 a day, or $2 a day, what'd you think was going to happen? And when you increase inflation, with all the central banking crap that's going on, inflation starts to hit them, and you got wheat goes up 100% in the last year, 114%, 80% on corn. What'd you think was going to happen? I mean, this is inevitable, and it's coming to the United States. And if we don't stake out ground and become very, very, very freaking clear on what our position is, it's not to save it. There's no saving it. It's surviving it and using a principle and an example and understanding of how we're going to do it and what should replace it when it's gone, because it's going away. If we don't do that, there's no place for us. What's the difference? We're going to be, Republican light. Well, what's the point?
And I think you bring up a good point about the food prices, because clearly the International Monetary Fund has been meddling with food prices around the world. Of course, the U.S. government subsidies of ethanol has driven up the price of corn dramatically, which of course hurts poor people far more than it hurts the middle class and rich people. And again, does that do much to engender friendship around the world? No, because again, we're literally causing people to starve, even though there is a surplus of food around the world because of the manipulation of commodity prices, manipulation of the dollar. All of these are causing the price of commodities like wheat, corn, et cetera, to rise dramatically, and that causes people to starve, frankly. And that is really another byproduct of our foreign policy that really is hurting people around the world and hurting the United States at the same time.
And the alternative is what?
The alternative is freedom. Get the government out of manipulating the money supply. We all want hard currencies that backed by real things of real value, whether it's gold, diamond, commodities, et cetera. Let people be the entrepreneurs that they can and will be if you get the government off the people's backs.
WalletVoting.com. Go to WalletVoting.com. We're already starting, man. Silver. Done. It's already there. Now, I'm telling you, Mark, what are the prospects for the Libertarian presidential candidate in 2012? Any race really heating up? Anybody involved? What's going on?
There's 3 or 4 people that I know are, starting the early stages. I don't think, any race is sort of caught on. But I think as the Republicans and conservatives look at what's happening in Congress, I think by the time 2012 rolls around, they're going to be so thoroughly disgusted with the Republicans and the Democrats that they are going to be so thirsty for something else. And that's why I'm eagerly out there every day trying to build a Libertarian Party, getting the message out there to let people know that there is a viable option, that the government is the cause of the problem. It is not the solution. And the solution really is to let everybody run their life the way they see fit. A million points of light, of ingenuity, creative thinking, entrepreneurship, will solve all the world's problems, where government, in its one-size-fits-all mentality, clearly will fail every single time.
Get the government out of the way. Get it out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. You know, thanks for coming on, Mark, at such short notice. I appreciate it. You know, this is
always a pleasure.
Oh no, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be really fast. Next week, you get me places to send them some musicians in Cairo speak English. Done. It's so done. Here we come. Freedom's on the march. Yeah, baby. So I'm talking about. We'll be right back here with an expert on Egypt. Professor Joshua Stacher is going to give his perspective on it. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence in just a little bit. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.